Thank you for joining us again for QP podcast. We named it Questionable Personalities. We thought it was like a funny joke.
Yeah.
And some people got really upset with the name.
No, I think that's a great name.
So,
QP.
every time we say it, I'm like, questionable personalities. I'm like, well, I'm not questioning. I'm like, well, it's supposed to be a joke.
Yeah, but you're questioning.
Yeah. So
but everybody shortens things these days, so we'll call it QP.
So,
I like
we'll
that.
have like a Cupid doll as our mascot. And,
So this evening we're hanging out with Lori Scruggs. She's a professional bikini competitor.
I'm
a pro.
A pro figure.
Figure. Oh, you figure. Okay. Because there's too many categories.
There's really not. There's
Well,
bikini, there's figure, there's physique, and then bodybuilding.
And there's wellness, which they should
Yeah,
have,
wellness. That's new. That just came
kind
out.
of silly to me. It's like, what do you need another one for?
That one it's more about like the legs.
Yeah,
and
that's the booty.
the booty
category.
big time. This.
Because from what I heard, that really was popular in Latin America. And
Yeah,
then
it
because of
definitely
the
came
audience,
here.
then you just kind of started it. But I'm like, you really just need 3, maybe.
Yeah.
Why is there 5?
We're good. Yeah.
It's like the differences can be so small sometimes, or sometimes there's
It
no
is. It's very
difference.
slight.
Yeah.
It's a very slight.
Especially in physique and bodybuilding, depending on what level you're talking about. Sometimes it's like, what's the difference? I know it's size, but for the most
It's
part,
definitely size and striations and
with a natural
posing.
association,
You don't really see much.
you don't really see the difference. Now, when you add some supplements,
Yes.
then you can see a lot of difference.
Some sports enhancements.
Yes, some fine Mexican
Yeah.
supplements.
You can get them from there sometimes.
Yeah, well, of course. But you compete in the natural.
Natural.
And the name is, what was it?
Well, the organization I won for was OCB.
Okay, which is was it competitive bodybuilding something? I forget. the name
It's
of that.
what does OCB
Yeah,
stand
yeah,
for?
yeah.
Oh gosh, that's a good question. I looked it up once, but
I think it's something Organization of Competitive Bodybuilders.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. It's a little bit of a goofy name. You can never remember it.
yeah,
So-
I can never remember any of them.
It's like QP. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then you
QP,
never
right.
remember what the name is.
or OCD could be.
OCD.
I compete in the OCD. I'm really good at it.
Yeah, me too.
So how did you get started?
So I was always into fitness, but I was, as a little girl, I danced. And then when I got a little older, I was like a skater girl. Then in my 20s, I was a snowboarder. And I would be at the gym here and there, but I was always like cardio bunny, kind of like on the treadmill, trying to be Kate Moss, who's like emaciated and skinny and ridiculous.
Good, just not eat.
Yeah, just not
fast
eat.
food.
Right. You don't even need exercise for that kind of body.
Yeah, right.
But it's like you said, like now the full figure, you see girls in a gym, they work on nothing but their butt,
Yeah, that's the wellness thing.
Right. So
The booty.
the booty wellness. So, it's funny how like the desired body has changed over time, that like Twiggy. I mean, that's before my time, and then Kate Moss but now you look in Victoria's Secret and you see real bodies, like what women mostly look like,
Well, it depends also like what people like. I mean, it's
And yeah, everyone has a has a desire. Like a lot of people think I'm too muscular. Like my aunts, they're like,
well, I
it's
can
too
imagine
much.
the older.
Yeah, the
women,
older
but-
generation definitely. You always hear about girls being like, I don't want to look like a man. Like
You're gonna have to take some
Yeah.
extra stuff. To
that's
look
what
like
I
a
mean. Like
man.
that just cracks
Yeah,
me up because
that's
it's
not-
so hard to look like a man
Oh,
if
when
you're
you
a
think
woman.
you're gonna go for a week, you don't look like a dude.
Right.
It's like, that's not gonna happen.
Right.
Yeah.
With the irony is that like lifting weights and building muscle burns fat faster than
Exactly.
hanging out on that cardio
But
machine.
there's a lot of misconception or
Oh, absolutely.
misunderstanding of how stuff works. So how did you get into weightlifting?
So the weightlifting came in. So I joined the gym, and I knew that I was told by so many people about you have to have muscle to burn fat. It's like the fountain of youth. So I started to lift weights, and I fell in love with it quickly. And then I had my first trainer, and I just wanted I would see things and I'm like, I want to do that. I wanted cleans. That was my thing. I wanted to do
So
cleans.
powerlifting.
Yeah, but I
started?
wasn't lifting that kind of weight, to be
Well,
a
the movement.
power lifter, but the movement, I loved it, and I just wanted to learn how to do it. So, I trained with him, and I learned so much from him, and then I went through So I started the weightlifting in 2016. And on New Year's Day, 2019, my boyfriend ended our relationship. He like literally pulled the rug out from under
New
me.
Year's Eve?
Yeah, New Year's Day.
Oh, New Year's Day.
We were out the night before New Year's Day.
Oh,
So
At least he waited.
at least he waited,
Till
right?
January 1st.
Yeah,
guess.
that was really shitty. But yeah, it was like being the pain. The only way I can describe it is like being kicked in the gut.
Because it was a surprise.
It was a surprise, and it changed my life, like my whole life. You know, we were so close, and then we weren't. And you know, there was anger, there's resentment, there's sadness amongst, you know, before anything. And it was hard for me to get out of bed sometimes, but the gym is what pulled me. I'm like, I have to go. And I would go with my friend, and she would like be, you know, at the end of the workout, she would be like, you know, you're like singing and humming and whistling. And it like pulled that, you know, the sadness would come back, but that's what got me through, you know, that whole. And then I had another friend who was always at the gym, and she's like, you should do a show. Oh my, because she does makeup and hair and the tanning for shows, and she had just come back from a show, and she's like, oh my God, these girls were the worst, you know. Sometimes she goes to the show and it's like, she's like, they just like walked off the street and put a bathing suit on. She's like, you would have blew them away without even prep, you know. So I'm like, I don't know, what do you think? So she's like, I know a coach, he's awesome, you're gonna love him. I'm like, okay, give me his number. Before I could even call the guy, she called him, sent him my pictures, like, let me call. He called me. And I just liked him instantly. And, you know, I got pulled in. And then before you know it, I was in prep. And I loved it. I loved everything about it. But I
Even like dieting.
The dieting sucks. It does.
Like no one likes
But
dieting.
it's a challenge, and when you get through a day, because you have to take one day at a time, when you get through the day and you're like, holy crap, I did it, and then you see your body change, you're just like, holy crap, because the diet is so key, and that's why you definitely need a coach to, you know, assess like, okay, she's like prep depends on how fat you are.
How many weeks did you go for?
I started in March, and I did a show in August.
So you did what, 16 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, about 12 to 16 is pretty standard.
You know, and my coach was very enthusiastic. He'd be like, you're going to win, Laura. You're going to win, Laura. And, you know, I was just like thinking he was hyping me up, you know. And he's like, your shoulders, isn't it? Like he kept saying my shoulder, because I guess they look at shoulders.
Well, if you have a good structure.
Right.
That's why I'm sure for a coach, if you get somebody with good structure who's willing to work hard, what else do you want, right?
Right.
Because if you don't have the structure, it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
It's not going to look good. I mean, you get in shape, but you're not going to win a show.
Yeah, and there's so much that goes with it. Like, you know, when the actual show comes, you know, how there's like that tweaking that has to be done, and you just can't do it alone. I think even every bodybuilder that like bodybuilders that are coaches, which they usually are, use coaches. You know what I mean? Because you just need someone on the outside to.
It's fairly new. Back in the 80s, probably. People did their own thing.
Yeah.
But I think that coaching thing became a business in the last 15 years.
Yeah, it's a big business,
People
especially with
usually just trial and error, and you had some trainers, but not like today. Now it's like guru for this, guru for that. It's like five different
and with social media, it's so easy.
I feel like it doesn't matter what you're getting into. Competition just is really ramped up in the last, you know.
Well, people also
years.
see more.
Yeah.
Plus, it used to be just IFBB.
Yeah.
And now it's like there's just
NPC.
Yeah.
There's
and you will get
OCD.
stuck with those guys like Jim Mannion and the Weeders. And if you didn't do that, there was nothing else. I mean, NABA in Europe, but not here. Like that was kind of like a second class organization here.
Yeah.
But now you have so many natural organizations too, which is
people are
better.
about being natural. I have nothing, you know, I have nothing against, and I don't look down on anyone that uses.
I don't think it should be legal for me. I'm like, well,
right, like if it's their choice,
yeah.
And believe me, they are working. Hard. Like you can't just take supplements and like be like, you know, you have to like take them and work really hard. It's just getting over that, like, you know, because I get to a point where I just can't get anymore.
Well, that's the thing.
But that's it for me. Like it's not a choice. It's just, you know.
To me, it's like you do whatever you want. The only problem I have is just people that take stuff and they compete in natural organizations. I'm like, that's
not fair.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
It's like, you do whatever you want to do, but don't cheat the other people.
Right. And then, like, I didn't realize this, but I was told, like, there's the implants are allowed in. Like, I'm not talking about breasts. I'm talking about, ass,
Well,
you know.
that in the old days, they used to do calf implants. Even Lou Ferrigno, when he came back.
The calves are a hard thing to
I'm
build.
like, well, you have them or you don't.
Yeah.
And like, it was obvious he had calf implants when he came
really?
back. Yeah. So,
oh my god, it's so weird.
And it was kind of stupid, but it's like.
Yeah, so I know that those people who take supplements are working very, very hard to build what they have, and they just need that extra kick. But yeah, I've thought about doing NPC just because people said, why don't you try it? Just, you know, and I'm still considering it because it's a challenge.
Sure.
But you have to know that, like, what you're going to be against. What you're going, you know, girls that are possibly using, maybe some of them aren't.
Well, I mean, most of the time they are taking something.
Right. Well, I know with my show, they give you the list of things you cannot take, and some of it is even diuretics. You know,
well, that's like, would they go by WADA or something? They're using different rules.
They go, but I don't know. I don't really know the.
Because they can be so strict, like people have asthma medication.
No, I don't think it was anything like that. No.
Which sometimes it's kind of silly. If this person has asthma, what are you going to tell them?
Because it has a steroid in it.
Well, it's I don't know. It's just more
Cortisone.
for breeding. And
okay.
It's not certainly
it's
not
going to build.
Muscles. Yeah, it's anything's going against you.
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly.
It's more like helping you breed or whatever. I don't know. It's silly to me.
So the supplements seem, fine to me, but you can have implants.
Well, we're talking about anabolics.
Yeah, no, I understand that.
They're not necessarily supplements. They are, but yeah.
But like implants, like I don't know about the calf implant, but there's definitely like the booty implant thing going on.
It does seem like cheating if you're in a.
Yeah, I mean, to me, like the breasts aren't cheating because they're not really looking at.
Yeah.
That as a muscle. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
But like your glutes are big. I mean.
Yeah.
That's the whole, especially in bikini and probably wellness, I guess.
Yeah.
So the implants, would that just be testing how far your skin can stretch?
I don't know. I would think that the
Genetically?
judges would know. I mean, they're pro competitors themselves and they know bodies.
Yeah.
So to me, I think implanted butts are kind of obvious.
Yeah.
Because some girls go a little overboard, but
That's more of a test of your plastic surgeon too. isn't it?
right.
Yeah.
Should they be on stage with you?
Yeah.
There should be.
Be like, I did that.
Yeah. I'll get points for that.
And it looks more natural than
That one
that
over
lumpy
there.
butt.
See what's going to happen now? They're going to start another category, be like a Kardashian category.
Yes. That would be a big one. I see tons of those girls at the gym.
It's ridiculous.
Can you
but
pop a
that's just my
champagne and
opinion.
catch it on your butt?
They don't ever work their upper body. It's their lower body every time I see them, and then the selfie.
Yeah.
In a way, I mean, I like going to the gym, and sometimes when I go away, I'll go. Not now because everything's shut down here.
Yeah.
But the reason I built my own is because I'm annoyed with people today. Everyone's on their stupid phone.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, the hell with this. I'll just build
Yeah,
my
some
own.
gyms are worse than others.
Yeah.
Like when lockdown came, my girlfriend and I, she's from Staten Island and she's a bikini competitor, and we just are both the same person, and we were like gym whores. We'd go anywhere that would take us, because there were like a lot of like underground stuff going on, and working out at home for me just wasn't doing it. I love that, but you definitely, going to different gyms, there's definitely different vibes. There's like the hardcore,
Yeah, that's.
and then there's the like my gym, there's a lot of like different clientele, a lot older, different ages, and it's very nice because it's like calm because no one's really like in big competition. Whereas you go to, like a gym like Gold's Gym, for example, that's hardcore, and yours just muscles and.
Some are hard. It depends where you go.
Yeah.
Some are just not.
Yeah, I mean the ones I've been to have been.
Yeah. Well, you in Jersey, so that's the other thing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's what's the one in Maplewood, the Kemper used to own. That's like the big.
In Maplewood?
Yeah. Forget the name now. But all the competitors are there.
Yeah.
That was like a big place to go.
Right.
I forget who owns it. Kemper used to own it, but he passed away. So, and he was like Mr. Something in the 50s.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And all the big guys used to go there from
Right.
this area.
That's what I mean. Like they seem to be drawn to certain gyms for sure.
Because it's probably also, if you're going to be on that level, you probably feed off each other. Yeah.
You do. But for me, it wasn't like, there's some people that are hardcore, like they want this to be their profession. They want to be, they want to make money and, endorsements and what have you. Like, it wasn't that for me. For me, it was like I said, just to focus on something, and it did amazing things for me. Gave me a lot of strength. It gave me, more. I was more confident. Like I became, I was down in the dirt and I came up more confident than I was before.
Yeah.
And it made me realize how strong I was. And, age is just a number. I know that's a cliche, but like for me, I'm just like, I know I'm in better shape than most 20 and 30-year-olds,
Yeah,
so.
that's the thing. If you keep going with it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other thing is the therapy. Like,
Yeah,
some
it
people
was
go to church, some people go to gym.
Such therapy for me. I can't even explain. And maybe it doesn't work for everyone, but it worked for me,
I think it works for a lot of people.
Yeah.
I think
if you actually put the time in, you get that endorphin kick.
Yes.
And yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, there's a lot that goes with, competitors. It's crazy because, like, once I got in the game, I couldn't believe what a small network of people. I'm like, especially with, like, Instagram and stuff, you're like, oh, they all know each other? It's like everyone knows each other. They all know each other. And, a lot of them are competitors themselves. And, so it gets touchy because, like, you switch coaches, you switch trainers, and you're like, oh, like, for me, like, I don't like to hurt anyone's feelings, but sometimes you just feel like you need a change or something's not working for you anymore. A lot of times I don't blame the coaches, I blame myself because I absolutely have an eating disorder, that it's very common with people in fitness. Body dysmorphia, you just can't see yourself.
Big enough.
Yeah, I'm not big enough. I'm not. It's funny when I look at pictures. I'm like, damn, I look good, but it's at that moment you just can't see it.
No, it's strange. Plus, you're talking about that specific day under those lights with tan with the oil.
Right.
So people think people look like that all the time. It's like,
that's what I tell people.
It's a temporary look for.
And what's funny is that a lot of people that just meet me and they see those pictures, they're like, I kind of like the way you look better now, because it's kind of like
it's softer.
It's softer. It's softer. It's more feminine. It's just, but it's a great place to get to.
Yeah,
you know
sure.
what I mean?
But no one can keep that.
Oh
up.
no, you would. From what I was told from coaches, like as soon as you're done with the show, they do a reverse diet, because your metabolism will just be ruined. You can't live like that.
Depends what you did to get there.
Right.
And some people are naturally, I guess, more gifted at losing fat than others.
Oh,
so
definitely.
It just depends on what you did to get there. The last thing you'll do is put on a ton of fat after you start
right.
eating like crazy, which is very easy to do.
Oh, it's very common.
It's very
common.
common.
I quickly put on like 10 to 12. Like
but that's normal.
Yeah.
10 to 12, you're good. But people put on like 50.
Yeah. It's that right. Definitely happens.
What was the point of getting to that point?
I know. You shouldn't let it go that far. Yeah. And I try not to. I kind of try to stay in that like 10 to 15 for stage weight.
Yeah, that's what you should do. That's pretty much what most people would do.
And it's hard because when you start prep, it's a difficult, that's another reason why you need a coach, because there's a fine line between trying to get lean and losing fat, but not losing that precious muscle that you've been working so hard for. So it's like this magic unicorn that you're trying to find. It's like, okay, I need to lose fat, but I don't want to lose any muscle. That's why like big, like bodybuilder guys, you never see them on a cardio machine because they're afraid to lose like an iota.
Well, and also taking a bunch of other stuff. So
right.
If they got on the cardio, they might have a heart attack.
I know, right? It's like frightening to watch them sometimes.
If you're 300 pounds, you're not doing a lot of cardio. You might be walking, that's about it.
Yeah, you rarely see those guys on cardio machines.
And half of them taking so much stuff, the blood pressure's to the roof. So when you see somebody really red, that, I know what you're taking.
Right. I can kind of pick them out too.
Sure. It's very easy.
Yeah, it's very easy. Yeah. I don't understand how they don't know that. Maybe they don't care.
Well, it's the same reason why people don't see how good of a shape they're in, or you have to get someone
Exactly.
else's opinion. But there's certainly a disorder in a lot of different ways associated with a lot of that stuff.
Right. And I feel for them because I know I have it. I just know I do, you know, but my issues with that, with the eating and stuff, and I never blamed anyone for that. That's all me. But like I kept trying to find someone that could like work with it, like give me the foods that keep me, because I would like binge.
So what drives you to binge?
I think I try to pin it like when it happens. I think a lot of it's emotional for me. Like I have these, like something happens, like I'll find something that will happen. Like for example, my friend was taken away in an ambulance when she couldn't breathe. It was like COVID. We didn't know, but it wasn't COVID. And then she ended up in the hospital with, she had to have open heart surgery. And I found myself binging because like as soon as like I get upset or like emotional,
So it's stressy.
yeah, it's like a stress thing. But it will also happen, you know, with certain foods. Like if my carbs go too low, I find it's like, and you guys don't understand when I say binge, people would not believe what I eat.
How much can you eat? Let's see.
But it's what I
Let's
eat.
see if we can compare it.
If it's what I eat. It's like I'm not going for like burgers and pizza. Like I'm pulling up, like I've gotten out of bed and got dressed to go up to 7-Eleven and buy like stacks of like Reese's.
Oh, because
Wow.
it's sweets. There's candy, chocolate.
Okay.
Yeah, chocolates. Sometimes I would be coming home from work and it pulls me like it. I imagine it's what a heroin addict would feel like. You know what I mean? Like it's that pull. Like I gotta pull into Quick Check. I need this. I need this. I would go in there. My go-tos were always Reese's. You know, they had, I don't know if you ever gone to Quick Check, but they sell these like, those like homemade cookies, like in a stack. They're like,
I haven't
it's
seen
like
those.
a cellophane kind of wrap. I think I've
yes.
because they'll be on the side and they'll look a
you
wrap.
can buy 2 for $5.
Yeah? What kind of
That's
flavors are we
that's
talking
how they
about?
get you.
Sugar cookie. They have chocolate chip, which is the best. They have chocolate chip peanut butter. And then they have like an oatmeal, but my go-to was always the chocolate chip. And I would eat like 2 of those easy after a bag. Like sometimes I get the miniatures of Reese's,
Well, Reese's are delicious.
and I could eat that bag in 30 minutes. 30 minutes without, like, that was the thing. Like it was just like till I was sick. Like I wasn't done until I was sick.
See, my wife will laugh if she can hear this conversation right now.
Really?
But she might be because she's above us.
Why would she laugh?
Because about once a year, I'll just go like off the deep end like that. But they have didn't have.
I wish
last
it was
year.
just once a year.
But I would have this like donut day where I would eat like 3 boxes of donuts.
Oh my God. Like those little Pop-Its?
No.
Lord.
I'm talking 3 boxes of Entenmann's
Oh my God.
with like a gallon of milk.
Okay, now I don't feel so
This
bad.
is something I didn't know about.
You're learning something
Yeah,
new.
but-
And you didn't vomit after?
No, but that's the thing. Was I would eat it till I get sick.
Yeah.
And
Like a dog.
It would just be like, but it would happen like it didn't happen last year, but usually once a year it would be like usually in the winter, because I wouldn't do it in the summer.
Well, yeah, winters.
But I would just, and she would laugh. One time I brought him and she saw him, and next morning she goes, "Oh, maybe I'll have a donut." They're all gone. There was nothing
She's
left.
like, are you
And
kidding
she
me?
sort of laughed. She's like, "You ate 2 boxes. 2 boxes gone."
That's my kids. If my kids see me, they will pull it right out of my hand.
Yeah.
They know. They're like, Mommy, you're binging. You know, they know. And I do. I tell people. I don't hide it. I really do. I wear my heart on my sleeve always anyway. But I've told my mother, I'm like, you need to like
So
nip
it's
it.
just sugar for you?
For me, it's a sugar thing. It's not food. I don't crave burgers or pizza or, I mean, not that I don't crave that stuff. I do, but not like when that binge me comes. It's definitely, okay, I need to pull into Quick Check or CVS or wherever they have.
But it sounds like it's chocolate, too.
It's definitely a chocolate thing.
Have you tried, like, weaning yourself off? Because my wife loves dark chocolate.
Yeah.
And she's trying to,
Get off of it.
not get off, but
Chocolate rehab.
go
Serious.
go with darker and darker chocolate. And that sounds like a
Yes, 'cause
special
it's
kind
less
of
and
film.
less, yeah.
But yeah, darker and darker
No, it
chocolate
makes sense,
to
though.
get out of the
The
out of the
sweetness.
sweet.
Just cacao.
And just get the cacao, because that
Yeah.
sometimes that's the fixation, but
Yeah, I haven't. So I've been doing well, knock on wood. with the binging thing. Like I've definitely have been fighting it and trying to, keep myself from getting too hungry, because I feel like that might bring it on. And I find like little cheats that help me when I need that sweetness,
Yeah. Well, usually people have a cheat meal once a week.
Yeah.
So a day, depending on.
Right. Yeah, they would give you, like, some coaches would call them cheats, some would call them refeed.
Well, it's the same thing. Well, it benefits you because you don't want to. You need that metabolism to rev
You
up.
absolutely
If you don't,
do.
It's actually you fat loss with stones.
Right.
You actually need a little bit of that.
Yeah, so that's what happens when your calories drop so low. Your metabolism just kind of goes to a standstill, and so when you eat that cheat meal, it's like, woo, revs it up again, and But I'm always trying to find like the perfect combination of like cardio. Like, I don't want to do too much cardio, but I have to do enough, and finding the right calories. And some people, when they hear my calories, they're like, "Oh my God, that's way too low." And you're like, "Really?"
What's your
my
do you
normal?
measure everything, or
I do.
Okay.
I do.
Well, some people are really obsessive with it.
Yeah, I get made fun of all the time.
I mean, I separate
I don't
my
care,
meals, but I
but,
don't measure them out. I just eyeball.
No, but the girls at work, like, they laugh at me because they're
But then
like,
I don't do any. I wouldn't get on stage.
yeah,
So
it is that alone, wearing 5-inch heels made of clear plastic in a bathing suit.
Yeah, it's absurd when you really.
It's absurd, and you have to like walk across. So the last show I did, the stage was like one of those man-made stages, like it's like kind of like put together.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Whereas the first stage I was on was like a theater.
Mm-hmm.
So
real stage.
I stepped on that stage and I just lost every bit of confidence I had. I couldn't focus. I couldn't.
Well, that's just bad on whoever organized it.
Well, yeah, I guess just that from what I hear, that's a common stage that they use. I guess some of them are better than others, but this one
It was like a wrestling stage where like
it's really just a
yeah, man-made. It's just like was like pieces put together, and like all I kept imagining was my heels slipping through one of the cracks.
Oh, okay.
And even when I so there were steps that I walked up, and then when I hit the stage, I felt like this uneasiness, and the so the first show I had, because you're up on stage, the judges were like down here, so you kind of can look away. They were like right there.
Oh.
It was very awkward. So, you just see them like staring at you, and it's really weird.
Yeah, just a strange kind of setup. I mean,
it is. It's very strange. But I have fun
really
though. I have to
break it
say,
down,
to me, it's fun. And, like, I did have fun, but that you have to get past that. And I could see someone who's like painfully shy, or like more like you have to be kind of a ham. Because you have to be out there and be like your big cheesy smile.
but some people will do that and then be like shy.
Yeah.
Like afterwards or with other people, but they'll get on stage and do whatever they
Right.
have to do, which is kind of weird.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very common with musicians,
Yeah.
They're on stage and then they get off and they're just like,
Yeah.
clam up.
So your prep was 16 weeks, and how did you? What's the diet plan that you follow? Not in detail, obviously, but did you go-
Well, okay. So with that coach, he gave me macros, so I had a lot of freedom because he would just give me numbers, and I would have to.
So you pick your own food. But he
pick
gave
my
you
own
just the
food, but
general thing.
you always generally you are trying to eat nothing processed. You want to eat everything like the staples for bodybuilders are like of course chicken, lean turkey, lean beef, egg whites, eggs, cod was a big one. Like, I ate a lot of cod towards the end. In fact, he wanted me eating cod my last 3 meals. So then I, of course, oatmeal, rice, those are like your carbs. What else? Quinoa. It depends. Most of my coaches didn't give me fruit. A few of them did, but and if it was fruit, it was usually like berries.
Yeah, because of the fructose.
But yeah, that was like my
So it was mostly low carb.
low carb. Yeah, so the highest carbs were usually pre and post. Sometimes they would carb cycle, so I would have on and off days with I would only have carbs pre and post, and that's it for like 2
Pre and post workout.
Right. so then he would be like, oh, Monday, Wednesday, do pre and post only, and then other days regular diet, but so when my coach gave me the macros, that like threw me. That really confused me. And I found myself like putting stuff that I probably shouldn't, you start like cheating a little. So, but
apple pie has apples.
Yeah, I mean, that's what so you think like, oh, as long as you meet your macros.
Yeah, but to me, that's kind of silly. Actually sets you up for failure.
It does.
Good way to go. Probably okay for general guidance of like
Right.
somebody's not competing, but if you're going to compete.
Exactly. Like if you for example, I find Weight Watchers worked for me. I did it like a zillion years ago.
It's calorie restriction.
Yeah, it was just all calorie structure, but it just worked. I don't think it would work for me now because I have like a different body type now, but it depends on what you want your body to look like.
Yeah, I mean, people don't realize how much that changes.
Yeah.
The whole thing, what you eat and what you do.
Yeah.
So what are your workouts like?
So my workouts, I work out 6 times a week. I do that when I'm in prep or not. It's just the volume is different, So right now I'm just trying to like maintain what I have until I figure out a show I want to do. Because I was going to do one in May. And I just decided I just wasn't ready yet. I didn't think I could get there fast enough, and I didn't want to rush it.
A lot of stuff got canceled last year.
Yeah, a lot of shows got canceled. This show was is a coach or a trainer that I worked with. He runs it's a ANBF, also all natural. He's done like a ton of natural shows. This guy, and so he added a couple shows. This year, May, he's got one in November. And so I was thinking of doing both of those shows. And now, I just had too much going on that I wasn't ready for May. So I think I'll do November. I was thinking possibly in the summer. It's hard to find, like OCB, I can't find a show. I mean, they're like all very far away. Mm-hmm. They're pro shows anyway. I could do an amateur show if I just want to get on stage, which is fine. Because I'm not doing it to be... like I said, I'm not doing it to be a professional. I just, it'd be fun to do a pro category because I have my pro card. But, there really aren't any shows.
Yeah, a lot of stuff is in Florida.
Yeah, there's tons of stuff down south. Yeah. I'm like, maybe I can go down there.
They're open.
Yeah, they're open.
They moved everything.
Oh, yeah.
Vegas lost a lot of shows.
Yeah. So I may do this. So there's the one in November is in Staten Island. The one that was in May was down the shore, which would have been great. There's, some shows in August, but it would be amateur with OCB. So that's why I was thinking of my friend, the one I was telling you about that's a bikini competitor. She was like, let's do NPC. She's natural too. So I'm like, I guess we could,
Well, you can do it. Just you know what
you know what you're getting against. Yeah. But she's like, wouldn't it be cool just to be up there with other people? I was like, yeah. She's much more enthusiastic about it. But
well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. You're aware of what's going on, so
yeah,
it's your choice to do it.
You have to know that you probably won't even place because, But if you're, some girls are in it. Like they are in it. They want to win. First place, they want, it's very important to them. And I get it, and they've been doing it a long time and they're young still. For me, I'm just like, I'm way past that. I did this for different reasons. Right. I just enjoy it and I would love to do another show. It's also very expensive. Right. If you want a new suit, if you're paying for someone, like, I'm a stylist and I barter with people. Like I bartered for my first suit. I did her hair. She gave me her suit.
That's perfect.
I bartered with the girl who did my tan and my makeup for my show. So I was lucky there. But to enter the shows, the bathing suit I was wearing was a $600 suit.
They really rip people off.
Yeah.
It's the fees and everything else. It's just way too much.
Okay, I have no idea what's going on with the fees. So what are we talking about?
Okay, so first of all, you're going to be paying your coach monthly.
Okay.
Which is anywhere between $150 to $250, and that's just for him giving you your schedule. Like he gives you like workouts, what he does when he's not with you. Then when you train with him personally, depending on the coach, it can be anywhere from $25 to $85 for an hour with him. So closer to your show, you want to be training with him at least 2-3 times a week. So add that up. My first coach was awesome. Like, he was very reasonable with me. He was a single mother. He worked with me. And then the show entries. So first you have to buy a membership to the organization.
Right.
Which is like, whatever, 125, 200. And then show entry. So my first show I did novice. So the categories I did novice, open, and masters. So I had to pay for all 3 of those categories, plus the entry. Plus, well, I shared my ticket. You pay for your coach's ticket to get into the show, which is usually $45.
And if you have to travel?
You have to travel. If you have to get a hotel. I didn't have to do any of that for it. Actually, my last show I did. I got a hotel for that show. But yeah, so you pay for all that.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, and so if you added it all, my friend who is, with her numbers, she added it all up, and when she said it to me, I was like, sick. I just was sick. I'm like, oh my God, I don't even want to think about it. But
and the prize money is nothing, especially on the amateur.
Yeah, and for amateur, you don't get any money.
Yeah, I mean, even with the natural organizations.
Right.
Yeah, it's not. Even in the big shows, it's not that much.
I have a lot of very cheesy trophies that are just
You know what I should do? You can eat donuts and just go to a trophy shop.
Yeah. I'll buy that one.
And say, look what I got.
I mean, at the moment, it's amazing. You have to see. I don't know if I gave you one of the pictures of the belt.
You did send me. I think there's.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put them up.
Yes. Everyone jokes about this belt because it's like it wouldn't even fit around Muhammad Ali's waist. It's just enormous.
It's a WWE.
Right. Exactly. But that's the name of the show, and it's actually a very well-known show. It's been going on for a long time. So some promoters have really a show that's really great and coveted, everyone wants to do it, So that was a good one. That was a big one, and I was really proud of that. So. My kids were there, my parents were there.
So I'm sure it's a very nice thing for them to see mom in
It
shape
was.
and all that.
They were very proud. They were showing all their friends. Because I kind of always thought, sometimes, there's my mom in a bikini, but they were very proud. They were.
Well, that's what a sport is. I mean,
yeah.
If you're competing in beach volleyball, you still have to wear some
exactly
like that. So.
Exactly. But the heels just, that's the physique girls and the bodybuilders don't have to wear the heels.
Yeah,
it's just not fair.
Yeah, I don't think so either. I'm like, why heels? It really.
But the heels make your legs pop. I have to say.
Yeah. Right.
But you could still do it without.
Yeah, you could. But especially bikini girls, they're much more sassy and they it's all about walking for them. They walk forward, they walk back. So it looks very flattering for them to have shoes on. Us. We don't do a lot of walking. It's more quarter. I mean, they do quarter poses too, but we do quarter poses, and it's more stoic and statuesque. And
but you don't have mandatories on any of that stuff.
No, they're mandatory poses.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have your quarter, but that's.
But they're just turns, right? You don't.
They're just turns, but then you do a T walk or an I walk where you come out on your own, and you could do your chosen. They don't have to be the mandatories. You could throw some mandatories in there, but. You could pretty much do your own poses. But for the most part, when you're being judged, it's just quarter turns. And they just keep turning, then they switch places and you're sweating and you're holding. Posing is probably one of the hardest parts. For me, that was the hardest.
We have to practice.
Oh my God, I practice. And then I see sometimes pictures, I'm like, ugh. I mean, there's just some girls that have posing down to an art, and that will win you a show. If there's a girl and you have a better body than her, if her posing is better than yours, she's probably going to win.
Really?
It happens all
well,
the time.
Well, you can hide a lot of flaws by
you can
posing
hide.
right.
And
okay.
So what I think it was Frank Zane that did that back in the 70s, which is really, he had his wife take pictures of him.
Yeah.
For months before, and he would always study the pictures, so he knew what he looked like.
That was the other thing, to do it not in front of a mirror.
That's reversed. It's left to right, so it's actually reverse it what it is.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but like you don't know what it looks like because in the mirror you're constantly like, okay, I need to suck in a little more, I need to tighten more, I need to turn more, I need to, you know. But when you don't have that mirror and you're just like looking at them, you're just like hoping for the best. But you just watch some women pose and they're just unbelievable. So I actually was because I thought I was doing the show in May, I hired a new posing coach. She's 3-time Miss Olympia.
Who was it?
Sid Gillen. Her posing is so gorgeous.
Sid Gillen.
Yeah.
What is she? Is it figure or?
Yes.
Oh, that's why. I'm like, cause if it was a bodybuilding, I wouldn't know.
Yeah. No. She's and she still looks amazing. But her posing, like I saw a girl on stage that used her as a coach, and the guy that I was training with down south, he told me about her, and so I looked her up and I watched her and I'm like, oh my Lord, it's just beautiful. It's just, I mean, I'm not saying you're going to be able to pose like her, but
Well,
clearly
you can learn
she,
from somebody who's good.
right. So, yep, I think posing is probably one of the hardest parts.
If you have the package, present it right. You might not, might as well just not have the package.
Yeah, just don't have the package.
Present it badly. What's the point?
Yeah.
You gotta lie down on the stage.
Yeah.
Well, there's so many aspects of it, and at least now you can kind of, through Instagram, people are making money.
Yes.
But years ago, it was just a silly trophy, and unless you're really one of the top, you're not getting anything. Even then, they didn't get anything.
Yeah.
But now you actually do have more opportunities because you can even coach other people, and you can,
right.
Do whatever.
Yeah, most coaches became coaches from, doing it.
I imagine.
Yeah.
Well, if you know how to get in shape, you can teach other people how to get in shape.
Right.
So
Exactly. I don't think I'd want to be a coach.
Well, it's not for everyone.
No. I mean, I would love, like, I always offer, girls ask me all the time, like, oh, will you ever work out with me? I'm all about women empowerment, especially, so I am always willing to help anyone. But people are like, don't give that shit away. You get paid for that. But, if they're like close friends, I don't know.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
It depends on what you're looking for.
Right.
If
exactly.
if you like sharing, and that's your,
if it's my livelihood, like if I go to school.
Yeah.
And, get certified.
Could do both.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
I thought about it. I thought about being a certified trainer. It's just, it's so hard right now. Like, I can't even find time to do what I'm doing now. So.
Yeah. Well, if you're busy.
Yeah. But I do love it, and I would love to help. I mean, I can't think of anything more, rewarding than to help someone, shed weight and, like, get down to, like, a goal and make them feel good about themselves,
Right. Well, there's also different types of coaches, right? You can just lose weight. People just...
Sure.
Right? Or people get in shape for contests. There's two different things.
Right. There's people that just want to be healthy, Like, I don't know if I would train someone for a competition because I don't think I'm...
That's not the healthiest thing in the world.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's funny that it's like the things we have to do to our body before we get on stage is not with health. It's just like, okay, don't drink any water and eat Sour Patch Kids because you want to be as dry as humanly possible.
Sour Patch Kids, that sounds delicious.
But
It makes you salivate.
You don't probably have to pull sodium because of that. Like as a figure competitor, you're not going that far.
Yeah, so first, like, you drink tons of water, and then, like, show day, they don't want you drinking anything. So, they don't want any water between your muscle and your skin. Mm-hmm. And, they just, like, dry you out. Like, the Sour Patch Kids is, like, a bodybuilder trick, because it, like, makes you salivate, so it's, like, sucks out any water that's left. It's scary. But, yeah, so, and I think I was, like, 9% body fat by that time, which is... For my age, oh my God, it's so dangerous. Yeah. Like, if I got in a car accident on the way from the show, like, I probably would have killed me.
Oh, you can cramp up on stage.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff can happen. It's not. I mean, there's a difference between people associate, like, being in shape with health.
Yes.
And I'm like, sometimes they don't go together.
No, absolutely not. You're very right. Yeah. I mean, like I said, I feel like I do overdo it sometimes, like I overtrain, so I have to, like, catch myself, and I have to be careful with. So the binging was an issue because I knew that was very unhealthy for me.
Did you always do that, or just when you started competing?
I remember doing it here and there as a kid, like, I would just get like urges. I always loved sweets, always. My dad loved sweets. I'm just like him. My son is just like me too. But it definitely intensified after my breakup and with the training.
It's emotional.
It was definitely emotional. Definitely.
Did it happen at the beginning of your diet, or like once you got into like 10 weeks and it was getting?
Yeah, it was definitely like, I'm trying to think like when it kicked in. It kicked in really strong, like right before my show. Like I remember like, I want those M&Ms. I want, I really wanted, but I controlled myself because my show was a week away. But that I think was the carb thing, because I was
You're doing low
so
carb before.
deprived of carbs that you just lose your shit. You just your brain just shuts
People
off.
are miserable.
Yeah, and it makes you feel good. It's a freaking drug, and you cannot change my mind about that. That sugar is a drug.
Oh yeah, it's the most addictive one, probably. One of them.
I absolutely agree with that, and I'm telling you, it pulls like heroin. Like, I mean, I've never done heroin, but I imagine that's exactly.
Where you passed out with like chocolate dripping.
Yeah, like dripping, you go crumbs, chocolate stuck to me.
And your kid comes in like, what happened? She was in shape yesterday. Look at
her now. Her belly's like. Yeah, so.
Well, at least having a goal, because you're going to be in a tiny bikini in front of all these people, like it has to keep you like in check, because no one wants to show up like out of shape and stuff.
Not only that, but you have to check in with your coach every week. You have to send him pictures. You have to send him your weight, and you're just like, you have to be accountable for all that.
So what's allowed in your organization, as far as you said, implants are okay, which is kind of weird, but
I don't know if implants. I just know I've heard
people have them.
People have them. I don't know if it's allowed, but I pretty much. I think that you could take stuff that you could buy pretty much at like a vitamin shop or GNC. There might be some guys with like the smaller companies that might have some stuff that they're questionable. Be like, oh, I don't know, that might not make it through.
What kind of tests do you take before the show?
I know
people do different stuff.
Okay, so the show I went to, they did a lie detector test before the show. And then when you win is when they do. Like, I didn't even step off the stage, and they like grabbed and pulled me into the bathroom.
Oh, wow.
To,
and that's when you can hydrate, because you haven't hydrated all day.
Yeah.
So
you're like, give me something to drink.
They're going to squeeze anything out of you.
Oh, my Lord. And taking the suit off is a pain because it like crisscrosses in the back, so you can't pull the bottom down. And, you're trying not to get the tan on anything.
Well,
it's just gross.
A meme of somebody at the show with like your handprint.
Yeah.
Like, well, we know where you were.
Yeah. We know where that came from.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they pull me off stage, and they give you a urine test. If they find anything, you're disqualified. That's it.
No, it's good that they do a urine test in addition, because a good liar can pass the test.
Exactly.
Yeah, I would think that a lie detector would be like.
It's kind of lame, right?
Yeah.
I think that was just. I guess they don't want to give everyone a urine test like right off the bat.
Right.
Because that's a lot of testing.
A person comes in 25th.
Yeah. So they only test you if you win. That's the only time they test you.
Yeah, they're probably expensive.
What did you win? What was your category, and what did you?
So I won first place novice, first place open, second place masters, and first place overall and pro card.
So did you win an overall and second place masters?
Okay, so everyone asked that question. They're like, wait, why didn't you win first place masters? So here's what happens. First place masters also gets a pro card. So I guess
I get it. They wanted two people to get a pro card.
Right. So it would be kind of weird, me with two pro cards.
Yeah.
So, and the open pro card is a better pro card than the masters. So she can only do pro masters. I could do anything. Right. So they kept calling my name. I didn't know what was going on. I'm like, what? I'm supposed to go out there, So, and I would trot out there, and then there was one point because they had open, so they have two lines. They have open A, open B, masters A, like usually with
heights or
yeah, they go by height, and then so open is obviously all ages. Masters is 40 plus. So when I won open, I was open A. I had to go up against the girl who won open B. And we had to go on stage, just us two, and almost like they made us pose and all that. And they chose the winner, overall winner, Battle of the Belt winner, from that.
So that's where you get the big belt.
That's where I got the big belt. So I won over her. So here's what's funny is that I watched video of that, and her posing was way better than mine. It's just I had other things that they just liked better. You know what I mean? They could, whatever it is. You know, it's about aesthetics.
Very subjective.
Yeah, it's just stage presence and.
Okay, so I have no idea how this system works. When you're in a competition, you know, what are you doing? You know, I know clearly we've talked about posing, but what else is involved? You know, what's the process?
Okay, so when you come out, they you do the quarter turns,
okay,
and you're up against all these women.
So everybody's on stage at that point?
Everyone's on stage at that point. We're all in our heels. We're all in our suits. They are looking for figure. They are looking for you to be muscular with like separation, but not too muscular. No, they don't want to see any striations. They want you lean and firm, but not emaciated. You know, you can't like if you start showing ribs, that's a no-no. Right. So you're turning and and they also are looking for the tapered V. So when you turn, you want to like pop that was like my thing. Like I had such trouble popping my lats.
Okay.
You know, to have that small waist and that V shape. So they're looking at that. They're looking at your skin. They're looking at your hair. They like a lot of bling. They're looking at your suit. You know, they're looking at your smile and
Now, is everybody doing this at the same time,
Yes.
and you're doing it over and over again?
They just call it out. Quarter turn to the right. Quarter turn to the left.
If you don't know your left from right.
Yeah, well, that happened to me in a show too. I'm like, wait a minute. Oh my God. It was so funny. And the judges were busting my chops afterwards. But they're like, you pulled it off. I'm like, oh my God.
The other left.
The other left. I got confused because, so in my first show, the T-walk was later. Mm-hmm. This one, they wanted you to T-walk when you first came out before you started posing. So like I got confused and so I started like turning the wrong way. And
so can you describe the T-walk if anyone's watching this?
So a T-walk is so you come from the stage, you go up to the center, you pose, you walk forward, you pose, you walk to the right, you pose, you walk to the left, you pose, and then you walk back, you bow, you leave. So that's a T-walk. I walk is like you come out, you pose, you walk to the front, you pose, and then you're done. You turn and walk off.
So would you recommend this? Well, it's kind of silly. That wouldn't be a good question.
What?
It's not for everyone.
It's definitely not for everyone. In fact, most people that start prep don't finish.
Yeah. I was going to say, you really have to be really into it to go through.
What kind of personality do you think is good for this? I mean, obviously you need the physique.
Right.
You need to start off
I think
with that.
genetics helps.
Yeah.
A lot.
You need the drive.
To put it mildly.
Yeah.
You need the drive.
Absolutely. It's something you have to really want because it is not fun at times. It's not fun because like I would avoid social situations because I didn't want to be exposed to, people like, oh, have one drink, because people just don't get it.
They don't.
What do you mean you can't have a drink? Just one. Just one cookie. Especially me. I don't know how to have one cookie.
Just one Reese's Pieces.
Just forget it. They'd like find me in the closet like with chocolate all over my face.
Like E.T.
Yeah, I could like drink. Yeah, exactly. Big bag of Reese's. My drinking is not an issue for me. It never was. But like when you're with friends and they're like, why can't you have a drink? But you find like little tricks. Like you can have like, of course Tito's is very low, so like let's just give me a Tito's and you just like sip on that all night. So everyone just leaves it.
I hear tequila is
very low. Yeah. So
there are other problems with tequila.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like you're like barely eating, so you're like such a lightweight, you're like bombed by the time like you're halfway done. But my issue was food, and I'd be miserable, like hangry, like just everyone's eating. I'm just so I would avoid social situations while you're in prep. So that was the other thing. So my friend and I wanted to plan like a little trip, and I'm like, I don't want to be in prep on a trip. I don't want to be in prep in the summer. I don't want, so there are people that want it that bad that they stay in prep. Like if they know they're doing a few shows, they stay in prep for all that time. That's impressive. Yeah.
Or you have to bring your Tupperware to a party. And
that's me. Everyone laughs. So at work, they laugh at me. They're like, "Oh, Lori's got her little Tupperware out," and I'm like, "Yeah, you guys are spending $10 on lunch, so okay." So, and they're eating they're eating stuff that to me, yes, it looks amazing, it smells amazing, but if I ate that, I would be so tired.
Plus, you get sick. Yeah.
I would. Yeah, sick too. And they laugh because I eat very often. They eat like this one huge meal. And I'm eating like every 3 hours, So I have to bring my own food. I don't have time. I can't order from Chipotle, which is not bad. But I need to know exactly what I'm eating. I need to know the calories when I'm in prep. Yeah. Normally, I'll eat Chipotle. I'll eat Qdoba. I'll eat, I'll even eat a burger. Like a burger was my cheat meal. Like my first coach would always give me a burger and fries.
Yeah, a lot of people do that if you eat meat and the burger and fries. But it depends where you are.
Yeah.
Like some people it throws them off, and some people need it.
No, I need it. I need that, It doesn't even have to be a cheeseburger. I just need something out of my prep food. Because you start eating the same... That's the other thing that causes my binges. I'm like, I am so tired of the way this tastes. I need to taste something else. So now I've just tried to find ways to do that without eating chocolate. So.
I know a place in New Orleans, they make a peanut butter burger.
Peanut butter's life, though. I have to say.
A lot of women competitors. Peanut butter is their like.
Oh my God, I love peanut butter.
I don't know why, but you talk to a lot of them. Peanut butter is their weakness. They'll break their diet and gorge and.
I'm telling you, I can eat out of the jar. I could, but peanut butter cups. Come on.
It's salty. It's sweet.
It's salty and sweet.
It's delicious.
Chocolate covered pretzels.
Yeah.
So did we cover? We're about an hour in.
Wow.
Right? You don't know how it goes fast. Yeah.
So you think you have enough?
Well, we have plenty.
Well, if we don't, we can have you back. I do want to. It would be good to do a question and answer.
Yeah.
For people.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's true.
That would be a good
another one.
That's fun.
Post that. We can do. No, did you want to say anything else that we didn't cover? Maybe that would be either helpful for somebody watching this or something we missed about the competition.
I'm trying to think. I can't really think of any. We talked about posing, the diet, prep.
What's your workout? I know you said 6 days a week, so I have a pretty good idea what your split is.
Okay, so I do, my split is I do 2 days of back, 2 days of back, 2 days of legs, and then, 2 days back, 2 days legs. Then I do chest and shoulders, and then I do just arms, and I throw abs in
a little bit every day.
3 times a week I try to do.
That's an interesting split.
Yeah. So I try to get because for me I throw shoulders in even on back day.
I was gonna say shoulders are probably your strongest. So you do them just to.
My first coach, he wanted me to do. He wanted me to do shoulders every day towards the end. Light.
Well, that's just to pop them out.
Yeah, just very light, 10-pound weights. He's like, at night, before you go to bed, just bang out 3 sets of 10, side laterals, front raises. And it gives you the pump, so. And
a lot of people neglect the back head. There's something about the back and shoulders. No, I mean the back head, the rear head of the deltoid. A lot of people neglect it.
Right.
So if you're looking for a more rounded look.
Yeah, you have to hit it from every angle. So so he would give me these crazy workouts where I'd be doing back, and he would throw shoulders in during a superset. He's like, I'll be doing back, and all of a sudden I'm doing shoulders, and but it worked. It just really blew me up.
Well, it's advantage of having a good coach is you can see what's going on and adjust it.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's funny how you see how different people train, and they try not to dog each other, but they definitely have different styles, and you just have to find who works for you. I'm very appreciative of every one I've ever worked with, from my first trainer, who is still my very good friend, and to the last guy I used. I learned the rights and the wrongs sometimes, and what works for me.
Right, because everyone's different.
Everyone's different, you know what's crazy is that I'm interested in training with different people. Like I wanna learn, you know, like I was talking to this one kid, and he was a kid who wants to be like a professional bodybuilder, and he was talking about like tempos and all stuff. Like, oh, I want to do that. Like when I hear something like that, you know. So it's like I feel bad because I there's people I want to work with, but you always feel like you're hurting somebody. You know what I mean? And like I said, everyone knows each other, so
you gotta find, if you're gonna have a coach, find someone that works for you,
right?
Because that's to be a good match.
But I've learned that, like, I thought it was just me, but I talked to other girls in my gym that are like, some of them are competitors, and they're like, oh yeah, I switched coaches. Yeah, you have to sometimes. They, you know, my one couldn't get my diet right. My one never got in touch with me. He would never return my texts, or, you know, whatever reason. Everyone has their reason for switching coaches, but
it's like, it's not personal. You're just looking for something that'll get you where you want.
Yeah. So that's it. And so it's just finding my coach, and if you have the drive, you know, like I said, there's a lot of people that start and they just are like, forget it, you know.
Well, it's usually a long-term commitment.
It is, and then when you love it, you know.
And you only started a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So you didn't know anything about the old days, like the
early competitions and stuff.
Well, I'm thinking like originally before we started talking, you said you only did it for a couple of years. I'm thinking like, oh, did you look at you know, I don't know, Rachel McLeish or, you know?
No,
but this is like going back.
Like I
just
the
70s. You know?
It never interested me in that way. You know, bodybuilders to me were like, you know, women that were bodybuilders were like these awkward, like man-faced, you know, full of veins and muscle.
Yeah.
And
it started in the 90s.
Yeah, I think it changed a lot. And
at one point, a lot of drugs came in and changed everything.
I've never wanted to be very big. I just wanted to be athletic, you know. And so figure seemed because bikini is a little too, like, they're not skinny. They're beautiful. They're like more like women you see in magazines. They're like models, you know. But
yeah, figures is a nice spot,
like
especially
nice in
for
the
a
middle.
natural competitor. Like you can, with good genetics, you can do it.
Yeah, definitely. So
taking it to a next step would, then it gets iffy.
Yeah, I don't want to go to that next step. It's not about that for me.
No, I mean, look, people can do whatever. To me, do whatever works for you.
I agree.
I don't care.
Yeah.
But for me personally, if I'm looking at those categories, I'm like, I think figure is probably the most aesthetically pleasing.
Agreed.
For me, but other people feel differently. So,
no.
It's fine. Everybody's got.
No, the bikini girls are very popular.
Oh yeah, no, look, so does wellness, especially Latin America. Right. Love that stuff. Yeah. So to each its own, whatever. All right. Sorry. Time to stop. Time's up. We'll come back next time. But thank you very much for chatting with us. And,
that was my pleasure.
We'll open it for questions. So if anyone has questions, it'll cost you now for Lori. And maybe when you decide to do a show, maybe we can do a thing before and after. Yes. That might be interesting to do a.
Yeah. When I pick a show, I'll let you know.
Let us know. And then maybe we'll do like a before. And if it's a local, maybe we'll just go there and get some shots.
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
And then we can do one right after when it's fresh.
Yeah.
So that could be interesting.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do another one. It's just me picking one. It's just.
All right, just let us know.
Maybe
we can do that. Would be kind of interesting to do before and after, and you get the process.
Yeah.
So you can sort of keep the updates to what's. And then we'll catch you with donuts one day.
Yes. Yes. I'll share though, not like you.
Look, we'll bring him donuts. We'll bring you Reese's.
And what do you want?
I don't know. Wine.
Ribs, maybe?
Wine. They're grapes, you know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you both.
Thanks.